G'day and welcome back for more Scrapyard Survival. Waking up inside my little cabin feels good. I've heard news that there might be someone needing some charge around here. So let's have a look. Okay, there might be two people. There is the BMB MCV, which clearly says it needs power. Right, okay. That's obvious. Wait. Needs power? It's got heaps of power. It's got half a battery. What about the other one? Oh, it's underneath. Oh, that one's dead. So one of its batteries is at half and the other one's dead. Alright, we can try and sort something out for them. And then who's this person who's attached themselves at the back end over here? The Dead Marauder. Which is owned by Carstar. Okay. So they look to have... Where are their batteries? Okay, so there's pretty much full. I can move their truck around if I need to. Which I might do if I need to put anything over here. I'll just use my crane and I'll just move it around, I reckon. Their truck is a fair bit... looks to be larger than mine, but I don't think it actually takes up... I don't think it ends up being that much bigger. Because there's the same number of wheels and similar spread. Oh no, mine's a bit smaller. But mine also looks a lot smaller because I haven't got the big cab and everything. How am I going to go about getting this rover over here onto some power? Because I do have more power than I need on my base. Like, even with Carstar's thing over there, these batteries should be full up. Yeah. They're full up. The wind turbines are putting out 315, 340, 340. So we've got 1.2 and a bit, maybe 1.3, maybe 1.35 megawatts of power coming out. Probably want to make it so I can connect to this connector, but I may have to hack part of that truck to be able to do it. There might be ways I could do that without any hacking, but I think it may be required. That is a very compact crane setup. But before I do any of that, it's morning. So I am going to go out and do some looting, because I didn't do much looting before, and I really would like to go collect some stuff. And I'll sort out all these power situations for people come nighttime. One of the things I've been thinking about with the way that I've been looting is that maybe I should be trying to loot things whole, like I did with the train, the locomotive. Because if I loot them whole, I can scrap them to whatever I need when I'm back here, whenever I happen to have the time. And that's perfect. It means I don't have to spend all that time during the daylight doing stuff. But what that also means is I'm absolutely going to have to build a trailer on my truck. I'm hoping I can find something to turn into one while we're out and about. Is there anything else I need to disconnect from this before I leave? Yep, there's a thruster. So yeah, I won't need to worry too much about it. Whoa! Too many of these small pieces if I'm collecting stuff whole and just shoving it on a trailer and then just bringing it back, dropping it, heading straight back out again sort of thing. Obviously there are some things that I probably can't do that way, but hopefully there'll be enough that it'll be worth giving it a try. Oh, it's nice to not have that cockpit jiggling anymore. It does not like it when I'm there. I will sort out your rover, don't worry. And there's someone's base nearby as well. Oh, hello. I found something already. What have I found? Is this going to be someone's base or is this scrap? Well, I think this is someone's base. Definitely someone's base with their truck inside. Alrighty. On I go. Okay. Someone's trying to go large grid, huh? Interesting. Anyway, scrap time. Stop sightseeing. Let's get some scrap. One of the things I would like to do once I have the time is do some actual styling on my rover. Possibly redo my crane again to something that's a bit more stylistically... What is the word I'm looking for? Something that actually has aesthetics in mind more so than just function. Because, yeah. This thing doesn't have much going on for it. Whoa, that's a lot of air. Oh, power line. Not the most exciting of finds, but maybe there'll be something at the base of it. I've been driving for a while. I have not had much luck. So I'll take whatever I can get. Oh, okay. Yep, I'll take that. That is another helicopter. I have an idea for it. I'm thinking I just pick the whole thing up with my crane and just drive on. Because I might turn this into a silly little rover at some point. Maybe. We'll see. Or I'll turn it into something that can fly once I get thrusters that I can use. I don't want to grab it by the rotor blades. That's what I'm a bit worried about. No, okay. Now it's locked. Oh. Oh, is she heavy? It's real heavy. It might be too heavy. Oof. Oof. I am trying to see if I can bring this around the front where I can then maybe lift it off the ground. Now the whole rover tipping over. This is going to be sketchy. Probably makes sense to have it up front at least. So if something goes wrong, it's the thing that I'm going to hit the ground with. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get. Let's drive on home. A bit slower than usual. This is so much heavier than that locomotive. Oh my gosh. It is so heavy. I'm going to have to keep recentering it each time that the crane goes off. Because I've got that rotor on as strong as it can be, and this thing's got a lot of inertia. That is going to want to turn every time, or want to stay every time I try and turn the truck. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to any of the scrap. I think I am just driving 9.8 k's home and dropping this and then going out again. Ooh, okay. Braking is going to be tricky and something I need to do delicately. Possibly try lifting it up a bit more and then bring it through a little bit more towards the middle of the rover, like this. That might be a little bit safer. The mass is now a bit more balanced. Maybe I can hit the brakes if I really need to. I'm not going to try because I'm afraid of it. If I really have to, maybe I can. Oh. Oh. Is this someone's home? I don't think it is. I did see a little signal that was just a tiny deviation from the heading that I was on. I figured, oh, right, I'll check it out. And maybe it's about to pay off.
Critical.
What do we have here? Grab those. Nothing really much in there. What about these shelves? A reactor component? Not sure what use a reactor component is, but I'm not going to pass up the chance to get one just in case. What about this big warehouse? Oh, gun! Am I carrying a gun? I am carrying ammunition, but I am not carrying a gun. Okay. Okay. I'm also carrying the extra welder. Wait, I am carrying a pistol. No ammunition for that pistol. Right. Do I have any on board? No. Cool. Well, let's see how this goes. What's in here? Maybe there's... Nope. Rifle magazines. Dang. Still tubes. Let's turn my lights on so I can actually see things. No. Nothing. Oh, it's a large grid, large cargo container. I want it. Ooh, can I get up? Oh, I can get up closer this way. Wait. Doesn't seem to have detected me, so now it's inert. Yay! Metal grids and a large cargo container. Oh, that is epic. I am gonna have to take that, which means I'm gonna have to not take the helicopter with me. Or... oh man, I've got to find so many grids to build this thing. Or can I build a makeshift trailer out of the helicopter, then stick the crane over the top of the trailer with the... maybe I can. What else have we got around here? What can I make from around here? I am not leaving this place. I want that large grid, large cargo container so badly. Oh, and there's a small one as well. Okay, I want both of those. Oh, there's so much here. I'm so close to home. I'm only 4 k's away. But I can't afford to leave it. I've got to get it all while I'm here. Alright. Step 1 is think about whether there's a way I can put wheels They don't have to be active wheels, but just wheels on this helicopter. And make a hitch to attach it to the back of my rover. This is going to get weird, and I love it. Okay, hinge and rotor. We'll lock this hinge. Just because I'm not going to be able to... I'm probably not going to be able to build these parts, so... I'm going to be doing this all with unconstructed things, so the wheels are even going to be unconstructed parts. I'm going to be grinding down a lot of the stuff out of the walls here. To try and get out those cargo container... that cargo container and this one over here. Such a good haul. And there's a part of me that's actually really happy that I'm not properly prepared for it. Because that means I get to do makeshift. Which is the whole fun of this thing. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and I have a good excuse for it. So, we go crane. We go up. Forward. Okay, that'll do.
Fuel critical.
Now, I want 5x5 wheels and then put it the row above that. What's my gap between my wheels? 7. I might be able to get maybe some of these wheels built. I'm thinking if I can get the ones at the rear of the helicopter built, at least that'll stop it from sliding around when I turn around corners. Ha! Huh. Yeah! Oh. It looks so much like a toy helicopter now. That's awesome. In a stupid way. Extend the crane out a little bit further. And let's start dropping it down. Oh, too far. Okay, cool. Good. Let's see if I can get enough stuff to make at least one of these wheels, because what I would like to do is put the parking brakes on and have them stay on. Which means I need friction, which means I need a complete wheel. Right, what have we got around the base that I can use? This time when I'm trying to take things wholesale, that's the time that I end up with so much stuff that I can't actually carry it. Figures. I could have built a trailer before I left the base, but I really wanted to do something like this. I was like, maybe I'll find a truck first, and then I can turn that straight into a trailer. That'd be great. Nope, I found a helicopter first. Alright, does anything around here have large grid? Sorry, large steel tubes. Small steel tubes, you don't. You don't. More small steel tubes. More small steel tubes. Everything small steel tubes. Ooh, remote control, that's handy though. I need to put one onto the helicopter so that I can actually control it and make sure I can put that parking brake on if I can get one more large steel tube. Or if I've got one more on board. I didn't check. Oh, I've got 20. Right, well, I've got enough for all the wheels. Delightful. I might even be able to drive the helicopter. As ridiculous as that sounds. This is totally not going to be my trailer long term, by the way. This thing, I need to turn it into its own silly looking vehicle that's not as silly as it currently is, but its own silly little drivable thing. I need something that's flatter to make a trailer out of. This is how I think this might be easiest to get home. Okay, so let's go and add one of these and a seat, and then I can drive this thing. Handbrakes on. Now I can detach the crane.
Critical.
And I can drive that around and try and hook it up to my makeshift hitch, which I should remove the hinge part from. I think I will attempt to attach the helicopter trailer first, then pick up the cargo containers. Oh no, wait. I know what I should do first. I get the small cargo container first. Then I will get the helicopter. Then I will get the large cargo container. The reason I'm thinking I get the helicopter connected before I do the large cargo container is driving with that on may be really awkward, and I feel like that's going to be the more awkward part than attempting to... Yeah, I think getting hitched up is going to be more awkward than picking up the big cargo container. Yeah, let's drag this sucker around. If there are any other good bits. It's mainly just construction components and steel plate in these. I don't think there are any motors. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Critical.
How weird is this thing going to be to drive? Uh-oh. Oh. I get kicked out of the control straight away because the wheels draw too much power. So if we set the wheels to have power of, say, 10%, is that going to kick me out? No. It goes up to 34% power usage. Oh, man. Okay. That is a lesson for the future trailer. It needs to be able to drive itself and attach. That is now a trailer. But yeah, any trailer, I need to have like deployable front wheels so then I can drive it. Even if it's rear wheel drive and steering, being able to drive the trailer to connect to the truck is a lot easier than driving the truck to connect to the trailer. Or it's that, at least that time it was. Always make sure when you're playing multiplayer, if you're not the host, to hinge lock or rotor lock before you change values on it. Makes it much less likely to go really weird. Turn those brakes off. And now, you should be able to just drive with that. It's going to be a little bit awkward because it's a four-wheel trailer, as you see there. But if I reduce the friction on the front set, it should turn a lot more easily. Let's do that. Reduce the friction on these down to, let's go, 15%. Probably could reduce it down to 0, to be honest. But I'm curious whether this will be enough. Because what we want is those front wheels sliding through a turn. Yeah, like that. And the rear wheels actually being part of the turn. Now we come around this side. And I need to cut a hole through the roof. Or the wall. Or both. I think I'm going to start with the roof. And I'm going to use a technique that a few people suggested to me. I am going to use my crane as the scaffolding. Because I've already got it. So why not use it? I'm going to see if I can climb up onto it. And use it to climb a closs? Yes, climb a closs to the roof. To the roof.
Fuel critical.
So, jump up there, and then I jump up there, and then this is the bit I'm not sure I can do. Can I jump up onto that? Or, am I going to have to make sure that when I rebuild my crane, I put a ladder on the back of it, and then use that ladder to be able to climb up onto it? So if I put a ladder on, I might be able to put one on like that. Let's see. No idea if this is going to cause it to clang out. But it should allow me to do this. Hop up on it. And then hop off it. And then walk up this. And I'm on the roof. Now I can cut the roof off. Because I do think this would be quite difficult to do without cutting this roof out. The weather turning on me in the middle of this scrapping effort has certainly added to the ambience. Especially standing on the roof. And that being the phase that it changed at. Oh, I've got to get that battery too. I need to push that battery out and get it outside so I can grab it with the crane. So much good scrap in this one place. It is kind of a jackpot. Now let's push that battery outside so I can grab it with the crane and load it up on the truck. And then I will detach the cargo container, maybe remove some more of the wall. And then that should be fine too. Okay. I'm gonna see what my luck is like with this battery. Come on. Oh, 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 I can transfer to me. I did it perfect. I did a perfect hack. Yeah, yes. What a win. Wait, are you stuck to the ground? You might be locked down. Oh, there's the landing gear on it. No, I can't see it. But I should be able to control it, so that's fine. Auto lock off, unlock.
Fuel critical.
Turn off. Another large battery, that's perfect. If I want to set myself up with a flyer, I've now got I'm now a step closer to that. Right. Battery's out. Now before I do anything that might get it stuck, let's get it picked up and loaded up. Loaded. Let's get a cargo container. I hope it's not full of stuff that's going to make it really heavy. It's possibly going to be a little bit heavy anyway. Nope. It is light and easy. Look at that. Super simple. Okay. So I've got a large cargo container, a small cargo container for large grid, a large battery for small grid, a custom turret controller, and a whole helicopter. Seems like a pretty good haul to me. Let's drive the last few kilometers home. And if I crash, I'm gonna cry. So I feel like I've done so well to get all this on here without causing any disasters. I have made it home in one piece with all my delicious loot. I think step one's going to be park the helicopter around near the locomotive or start a new scrap area. Not sure.
Fuel critical.
And then I'll deal with this large cargo container. Yes! Yes! Let's park the helicopter over here. I gotta do something with this. I'm still tossing up between just turning it into some sort of cruiseabout vehicle that I can use for no particular reason, or turning it into a signpost or something, but one of these is turning into something that I use to have a bit of fun with. Now, the large cargo container. Gotta deal with it. If I find another one of these, I'm probably still gonna collect it. Whether I actually end up using that much cargo is definitely in doubt, but they are quite the desirable block if you can get them completed. So there are a lot of parts on this that I am not going to have. I do not think I have anywhere near enough grids, even if I pull them out of the cargo containers I'm using at the current time. So I'll weld up what I can of it, see how many more grids I need, and then that's really going to be the goal, is finding grids. Getting those 24 grids that it needs, and getting it built up, because then, I can always offload my truck. So I got 5 in there at the moment, but I might, because I can't finish it, I might take those 5 out and put them in this small one here. I think I want it this way. I think it's more interesting, because when I put the one, like if I get another one, if I put it next to it, there's like that variation in height of the surface in between each one, rather than them running in a row. I think this will look more interesting. So we'll put the next merge here. I just nudge it into that. We should be good. That'll be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Gives me that little space in front of it. Because I want to add all sorts of decorative storage around here as well. I don't want this to just be functional storage. I want decorative, I want pointless stuff. I want to really celebrate the scrap aesthetic. Not just build things that are focused too much, well, in my opinion, too much on function. I'm gonna maybe do this the other way that I can do things. Rather than grabbing, I'm gonna nudge. Let's get it down below the height of the container. It's really hard to see behind that turbine. Hey, it's locked. Yes, yes. Cool. Alright, then we get the small cargo container on, so that'll be the more storage that I can use right now. And I will probably end up collecting... There's a decent chance I'll end up collecting like 4 or 5 more small, large grid cargo containers. Making them functional before I rip them all, like rip all the grids out of those and then put them in the large cargo container. But we are on our way. 1 cargo container down, 1 to go. I'm not sure if I want to add this battery to the rover. The rover's got a lot of power with just those 2 batteries. I'm feeling like I'll probably just leave it lying around the base somewhere until I need to use it, or until I figure out my pallet system. And if you're ever wondering why the time of day suddenly shifts sometimes during these videos, it's often because I have to run off and go do something, or something else weird happens. Okay, so we're just going to get this off and roughly over there, because this one I do know for sure that I can move around with my little grabby hands. Whoa, 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 whoa! Did not realize I was hitting the connector then. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Depth perception is sometimes really difficult. Oh, now I'm hitting that. Let's just try and get this on the ground, shall we? Oh, that's what I need to do! I need to add a little light on the end of my crane. I've done this in the past. if I add a little light, like a corner light on the edge of my little mag plate on the end of my crane, and just have it broadcasting, say, a meter, it gives me much better situational awareness and much better depth perception because I know where the tip of my crane is based on the amount of light that it's putting out there. And if I use fall-offs, I can probably have it casting light even further, and I can judge it by the intensity of the light as well. Oh, I need to remember to do that. Forgot how useful that was when I'd used it before. I'm not looking at what orientation that cargo container's in. I am just going to merge it as it is, because I kind of want it to be... Uh-oh. Weird. Oh, wait. Never mind. There's two here. Thought I'd run out of large steel tubes. Thought I was going to have to steal them from my wheels. Push this? No. Can't push it with large grid. But I can drag a little bit. Come on. Come on. Come on. Closer. 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 Snap. All ready. Come on. Oh, how is that not doing it automatically? There we go. Alright, let's weld this sucker up. Then, what I'm going to do... Oh, it is upside down. Perfect. What I'm going to do with these is go Shift P, press P, and then I'm going to change this over to... Should I go corrugated for the bit more scratches, or should I go for battered for this one? Maybe I'll go battered. Now, unfortunately, this is a grey cargo container. I was hoping for a colour. Oh well. If it turns out that I've mainly got shades of grey as the cargo containers as in their original colour, because that's what I was doing there. I grabbed the colour that it was and just changed the texture type from heavy rust to this. And I was thinking as I go through them, I'll do that, and I'll either use battered, corrugated, regular, basically one of the types that has a few scratches on it. So no skin has scratches, corrugated has more scratches than none, and then battered has another different sort of worn feel. Maybe I'll put a couple of rusties in, or maybe a couple of war-torns, but I'm not going to have any heavy rust. I'm going to upcycle them a little bit, make them a little bit nicer, and I should probably do the same with these batteries. So what color is this one? That's a light grey. What about this one? Oops. They're both a light grey. That's a bit unfortunate. Maybe we'll do one of them in the corrugated, and then this one, I'm just going to pick a colour. Oh, that's a different colour. Let's go with rusty for war-torn. That's war-torn look. Oh yeah, it's a bit different. Cool. Because yeah, I want all these to be a jumble of different colours and different styles and different orientations, because then it'll look like a big junk pile. But I now have cargo on the base, so I can get this battery off the back of the truck. And then, because it is nighttime, I can next spend some time trying to get these people's rovers charged and sorted, figure that side of things out, before hopefully doing some more looting in the morning. So I am in a big looting mood. 6.26 Ks northeast. See if I remember that come morning, because it's not too far till morning, it's 2 AM. What I'll do is I'll bring their rover around here and I'll connect it something like this one's connected, and then both of them can be parked around the back here. In the future, I'll make sure that there's parking spots so people can just roll up and connect, and I'll have shared connectors so they can do that. But right now, I'm not really ready for that. Since I can't drive their vehicle, I'm gonna go pick it up and see if I can carry the whole thing. Probably shouldn't have parked the helicopter there. It's not in the best spot. I do not want to grab onto their crane. That is something I definitely want to avoid. Okay, ready to lock. Whose truck is heavier? or the other way to say that is, do I have enough leverage? Here we go. I feel like this might have been more fun with doing this with someone actually in the cab of the other vehicle. Okay, perfect. This is the way to move things. I do not know how my crane is managing to function so well. But basically, my idea is, and I know I mentioned this much earlier on, but my idea is I would like to have all of my craning done without using any landing gear to lock to the ground. So I'm going to maybe build some outriggers on the crane as well, when I really need to stretch it, or if I build a much larger crane in the future and I need to stretch it, I will build outriggers so that I can push those out, but they're not going to have landing gear at the bottom. They're just going to be pistons that just sit there, just to give myself that extra bit of resistance to roll without actually locking down. Okay, done. That's moved. Now I have to hook it up. I'm going to hook it up to this little thing here for now, because I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to do it. And once these two have gotten themselves back to their own bases, I will scrap this and hopefully have by then thought of the better way to do it. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be close enough, or if I'm going to have to be doing more craning. Well, Volg, hopefully this will sort it out. Control panel, share with all. Now, I do not know if I'm going to have to hack this to be able to lock to it. May just hack it, let's see. Oh, yep, I did have to. Control panel, share with all. Because they've got inventory in there and I don't want to steal their inventory. And I can lock. There you go, now their batteries will charge. Another job done, and it's 3:48. Let's bring the truck around. Before I park it and forget, I'm going to add a few small merge blocks to this truck. So it's been suggested to me quite a few times that I should do this and just add physical merge blocks that are built to the truck and make sure they're there every time I leave. Because if these merge blocks are on my truck, I can always grind them down to use them as merge blocks if I need to merge anything to the truck, like another cargo container or whatever. So this is just a nice little safety net to have those there. Oh, look at this. I think my truck's actually empty again. Finally. I can possibly even get rid of those little cargo containers.
Critical.
Yeah, let's do that. In fact, I'm gonna leave all these tools because they don't need to be in the main cargo containers. Same with these sort of what's the term I'm looking for? Consumables. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for. But all the components should go across into the cargo system. All right, I'm gonna carry a rifle now just because I keep coming across those guns and I keep thinking, this might be a useful thing to have to be able to shoot. But let's get rolling. Oh, I spotted something straight away. Let's go. So I'm looking for anything that might have grids. I'm looking for some more cargo for the crane here, and also something that I can turn into a trailer for this thing. Because once I've got something that I can attach as a permanent trailer, then I'll start reworking the cargo system so that the connector is at the front, so it's much easier to park. And then start thinking about the aesthetic design of this, but I've been holding off on that because I need a lot of cargo containers for this thing to be flat at the back. And that's kind of what I was trying to do with it. So I'm unsure about that bit. I'm unsure how to make that work. I think I have found some old pipe. I don't think there's going to be much in here other than computers and maybe some motors. But I'm not going to turn down some computers and maybe some motors. Especially if I want to have something that can fly later. I'm surprised I haven't found any trucks, like many trucks. I've only found that one that had that van on the back. I haven't found any other trucks since then. Or before then. What have I here? We have a vehicle. Okay. If I need some sort of personnel carrier, this might not be too bad. What's it got for me? Oh. And it's got a cockpit, so that's some okay bits. Got an incomplete antenna. Nice. I may want one of them, because it might be useful to have an antenna on my crane. A couple of programmable blocks. An ore detector. Alright. Cool.
Fuel.
So I'll grab this and drive on. Oh yeah, this looks easy. This could probably just rest on the back here, actually. I can lock it down, I think. Especially if I rotate it around. Maybe even the whole way so that the wheels are up. Oh, camera. Stop being weird. I do. Ah! No! Stop. Oh, I think that's ready to lock. Mag. Lock. Cool. This is kind of what I was imagining the back end of this vehicle would end up being used for. I was thinking of it kind of like a ute. So, for those not familiar with the Australian term ute, it is short for utility vehicle. It is what an American would call a picker, except usually, traditionally it was based off a car body, but these days is very much the same as a pickup. Tray in the back, cab up the front, although this is kind of cab in the back and tray on the back. But the idea was a tray in the back so that I could shove stuff in there without needing a trailer. But I could get the same sort of carrying capacity, but all on the one thing. But the more I pick up whole vehicles, I think the more I'm going to want a sequence of trailers, which makes the idea of the train as my main vehicle kind of appealing. I have spotted something, despite the inclement weather, which is just delightful. I have no idea what I've spotted, but there's something. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh. That looked like a small helicopter body. Am I just going to collect helicopters? Is that my thing now? I think it might be my thing. Well, it's not particularly small.
Fuel critical.
Actually a decent sized one. With a full control seat. Definitely not. What the? How did that not hack that? What have we got on board? Bunch of control panels, more programmable blocks, event controller, lights, parachute, tiny battery, tiny cargo. Where's the tiny cargo? Oh! Oh! And a spider plushie. Tabroid plushie. That likely has a decent black market value. So the situation I'm creating for myself right now is one where I have to do a lot of scrapping of a lot of vehicles all at once at some point. Which I guess I could do as like a bit of a... I just sit there and do it and don't really try and say much and just hope it works as a time lapse sort of thing. Which could work, I suppose. Alright, let's I guess take these home because I've got nothing else I can carry. I've got no more room. Oh dear, no, 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 no. No tipping, thank you. This is going to make my place feel like a proper scrapyard. I am here for it. Lots of vehicles in various states of deconstruction, some in various states of reconstruction. It'll be cool. I'm looking forward. This is what I wanted. Cool. Offloaded. I saw something over this way. I'm going to go check it out. Hopefully it's something with grids, because I still have not collected any grids from the... anything except for... There was one little thing with grids in that first collection where I got all the cool stuff. Ooh. Ooh, what do we have here? Oh, I see what that is on the right. That's one of the collapsed power transmission towers. 2 little buildings with wind turbines. I have a stupid idea.
Fuel critical.
Especially considering this is quite a lot out of the ground. Can I bring this whole building back? Let's check out what's in it first. Oh, that doesn't help me. How am I going to get in? This way, maybe? Oh! An intact cargo container, look at that! With all of its metal grids. And we got a shower. Bathroom that no one would want to use right now. And also a rover with a survival kit. Is that loose or is that locked? Oh, that's loose. That could make it quite sketchy to try and move this while that's in here. I don't lock it down. Anything in these exciting for me? No. Okay. So I'm going to want to figure out a way to lock this in place. If I put a mag plate, let's cut these off. Put a mag plate there. See if I can move this thing over. Do what I did before, grab it, and then go push it. And use the combined powers. With my powers combined, I still can't do anything useful. Ooh, actually, maybe I can. Maybe just my big fat head can. Can I tip this enough that I can... No, I probably can't. Just thinking whether I could tip it high enough up that I could be able to actually get the mag plate to lock underneath. Don't want to be short-sighted and be like, the thing that's most useful to me here is going to be blah, and then destroy this thing, which might well be useful to me later. If we're going to try and take control of the polar regions, we're going to need some way to fight our way there. And my thinking is, if I can provide some vehicles for a fight like that, that might be really handy. And one of the types of vehicles that you're going to need for a fight like that, oh dear, is something with a survival kit. So we absolutely need something that can give us a respawn that we can all use, so we can stay in the fight. Now what I'm trying to do here is get under here, stand up, then switch to my landing gear, and hope that I can place it on that surface there. Yeah. Okay, maybe I can get that to lock down now. That locked? That locked! Cool. Alright, it's locked in place. I can deal with that later. Do any of these three buildings have anything I particularly want? We've got this hydrogen engine here, which has a power cell in it. I'll take that. Doesn't look like there's much else here, unless there's something up this ladder. Wait, is there a ladder in my one that I just missed? Would there be loot I've missed right under my nose? Quite possibly. Is there a large steel tubes in this? Huh. That might have been useful at the start. If I'd realized that ladder was there. Oh well. Oh, it doesn't look like... Oh, do I bother going up there just for a few motors? I'll hate myself if I need them later. It's a lot of effort climbing those ladders. What about up here? Are there computers in this thing? Oh yeah, 5 computers. I'll take that. It's a part of me that wants to bring all of these buildings back and just accumulate buildings, but I think moving one of these buildings is going to be a significant challenge. So let's check this one out and see if there's anything here that I'd want to move. You know, tomorrow when I'm done grinding through this door. And there we go. Oh. Oh. No. No. They're the same. They've got the same stuff. No. Oh, that makes it too tempting to take it all. Oh, I've got to take the cargo container, don't I? I have to. I've got to take the cargo container. Do I need to take this rover, though? Oh, I could probably reach in and grab it, I guess. If I cut around this, I can probably pull it out. Power cell in, not bad. I might grab that out in case I pop this by accident. Then there's the wind turbine on the roof. This is going to take me all day. Okay, cargo container, come on. I think you'll survive that fall. Yep, easy. I'm going to see if I can get this up onto the other one and merge block to it, so I don't have to deal with this as a separate thing. Because my idea is... I'm going to slap wheels on that building right there and tow it home. Possibly using the crane as a tow hitch. If I can pull it off, I'll be able to put this building down and connect it to my base and have just like a little workshop. I'll replace the ramp at the front with one that's a bit more smooth, like what I did for Jex over at his base. Because if I can get something nice and smooth like that, it'll be obviously a lot easier to use to drive little vehicles up. But it'd be nice to have vehicles that have low clearance and being able to basically, it would be nice to be able to drive them up and get underneath them, because this building has that little, I don't know what it's called, I think there's a specific name for it, but the space underneath where you can work on the vehicle from underneath. Little drop floor or whatever it is. Someone in the comments, tell me what it's meant to be, and 2 weeks later I'll know it. It'll be great. Now, this little ramp should allow me to push this all the way across. And then as long as I've got the stuff for a large grid merge block, or stuff for 2 of them, I can merge block this. Possibly even do it next to the existing one. Okay, merge block's done. Let's get those large steel tubes back. These welded back up and get my cargo, get my wheels on my truck welded back up. That's 8 more grids for the large cargo container. Okay, so how do we do this? First off, this ramp's got to go. It's going to be a hindrance because it's just making the building longer and it's not serving any function when I'm planning on replacing the ramp anyway. It's something custom built once I decide where this thing's going to sit. I am rovering a building and there's nobody here to tell me it's a bad idea. But adding this building to my area, I think it'll make it feel like a nice little compound, which would be cool. Adds that extra layer of interest to it all. Maybe I should work on making this thing mobile grid first. Or, no, I should have something to rest it on. Something that's going to stop it from sliding around too much. I'm going to put some big wheels on it. I'm going to move my vehicle out of the way so that it's not in the downhill run position. And I'm going to try and make this thing mobile. And once it's mobile, I'm then going to try and grab it with the crane. Or a smarter way to do this would be park uphill of it, grab it, and then when it's mobile, I'll hopefully have it safely locked to the ground. Safely parked. Maybe. But I think what I'm going to try and do is push it uphill and let it pull me downhill. I'm going to give myself a decent amount of clearance. Something like that. And I'm locked. I'm parked. And we'll see what happens.
Critical.
What's the worst that could happen? Anywhere I can actually get a wheel to build on this. Doesn't matter which way around it is. No, I mean, it should be the right way up. But it doesn't matter if it's on the sides or on the ends. That'll work. Probably. Yeah, that may actually make this towable. Possibly. I'm not going to get that voxel out of there anytime soon, so let's just get rid of the block. Just gotta hope that making these voxel deformations is not going to get this thing wedged. Because if it does, that's kind of going to be the end of this attempt. And instead of bringing the whole building, I will just have to grab the cargo containers. Okay. That's clear. That's clear. That's clear. Use these neon tubes down. Turbine's still spinning, which means it still thinks it's a static grid. Oh. We moving now? Turbine is not spinning. We are a mobile grid. Okay. Let's see what I can do. So what happens if I try and lift my crane a bit? The rover lifts. Okay, that's fine. It's kind of what I expected. What happens if I try and push this a bit? Pull? Oh. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe. Come on.
Fuel
Ow!
critical.
Ow! Just smashed myself with my own wheels. Alright, I gotta make these paths out a little smoother. It's definitely catching. I'm literally gonna try and push this thing home. It's gonna be so bad. This is what happens when I have engineering-y ideas that are probably a bit beyond my ability to pull off. Even though I hope I can do this. I hope I can make it work. Fortunately, it looks like those wheels are not going to get on the ground while this thing is in the holes. I'm getting good traction, so I'm getting a fair bit of push from my wheels. It's just... it's so wedged. And it is so heavy. How could I put skids under it that's actually going to make this work? I still want to be uphill of this at all times. When I'm pushing it around. Because... I don't want this thing to slide down hill and run into me, because that would be bad. Now I wonder if, given it's got no power,
Fuel critical.
I wonder if there's anything I can do with those wheels to make them actually useful. Control panel, off-road wheels, height offset, strength. So now it should slide on those wheels, if I can lift it up at this end even a touch. Alright. Push, push, push. Oh yeah. I got like a meter closer to home, maybe? If I was further from home, I would totally not be doing this. This way, anyway. Oh, I have an idea. Just had an idea that might actually be a good one. What happens if I get wheels? Can I build it up right way up first time? No, I can't. What if I build it upside down? If I place it upside down in the same position? No. What if my crane isn't here? Or what if I try and build it off the side instead? Will you let me build there? So I won't build a wheel that way. What I'm thinking is, if I can build a wheel upside down, can I use the height offset to push it into the ground? So we go height offset. We go this way. Yeah! Yes, that works. Awesome. Then we can do the same over here. Grab some more steel plate. Place it upside down. I think we're sliding down the hill a little bit. And push just a little bit. So it's mostly still letting this rover be on the ground. Mostly. Oh, right.
Fuel
Duh.
critical.
I forgot. Oh, wait, no, there shouldn't be any friction on these wheels. But I'll turn the friction off just in case. Or maybe I can rotate them around, actually. I'll turn the friction off just in case it is. But I didn't think there was friction on these until they were built. Could be wrong. I could be misremembering that. So there's no friction on those now. Can I move this yet? Not really.
Fuel
Let's lift it higher.
critical.
No. That was not much difference. Does strength matter here? Yes. Okay. Cool. I'm a little bit in the air more than I would want to be, so let's see if I can use my crane to adjust that position a bit. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Get back into driving. Oh dear. Crane. No. Bad rock. Up. Up. Put wheels on ground. Thank you. Okay. Okay, now we're doing this. This is so dumb and so gonna end horribly. But it's so much fun. What I need to do is crane. I need this on my hotbar. So that if this starts to be a runaway thing... Oh, jeez. No, don't do that. I'm trying to lift this more onto my truck's wheels so that I can use the truck to actually steer and it's lifted on it. Okay, so now we're on the zero friction wheels. That's going to be a problem. Can I bring this to a halt? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Alright, so what I need to do at the front here is switch those wheels out for ones that have rolling on them and are in the correct direction. Just like the ones on the back. Then we can get rid of the zero friction ones. And then these should hold their direction, which is the key. I need these to hold their direction because the zero friction is not going to work. And I don't think I could effectively push this if I leave realistically any amount of friction on. Cool. Now this might work. It's going to be pushing, it's going to be like pushing a shopping trolley or driving with a trailer but in reverse. But it works. And it works much better than before. This is the best. I love this. I know I'm leaving a wind turbine behind, but honestly, don't care. I've got this thing working. I am very happy. This is very stupid. But as some people say, if it's stupid and it works, is it really stupid? I'm loving this a little too much. The thing that got this into my head that I would do this at all was a suggestion that I should have brought the bar that I found home intact to put a bar up at my base. And if I ever find another one of those bars, I will. If I don't, and we've reached a point where I'm, you know, building that sort of thing onto my base, I will just build a new bar. But yes, that was what got this into my head, that I was like, oh yeah, I should totally just bring whole buildings back. Use them to increase the amount of stuff at my base. That makes perfect sense. Not really sure how it makes perfect sense, but it sure it does. Another thing that I'm now thinking is, if I find something that looks like it was someone's house, as in not another player's house, but, you know, scrap of an old house, I might bring that back and get rid of my workman's cottage. If I prefer it over my workman's cottage. Okay, got to stop before I crash the helicopter. Don't know where I want this building yet. I'm going to have a bit of a think about that before I decide that. But now I need to drop this on the ground by changing my suspension height so that it won't roll away when I unlock. This is this is one of the favorite things I've done in a long time. Now that I'm back at base, I can put things that might add power to that onto that. Like I can temporarily move a battery onto it. I could connect even just one of the tiny little batteries onto it so that I can put pistons on and use pistons to move this thing around rather than just the crane. But yeah, my little scrap heap has grown. I am very chuffed with my progress. So, I received a little bit of news that maybe something had happened. And it was related to... Oh. Okay, that's a lot worse than I thought it was. How? Oh, at least my cargo containers are intact. How did this oh. It appears to have smashed my helicopters in its journey to its current location. Right. I don't even know where to start with this now. I have to get this whole building up the right way. Alright, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to have to start by moving this helicopter out of the way, if it's still able to be moved. And then I need to add one of my small grid batteries, or maybe the hydrogen engine, onto that building via a subgrid so that I can get power to it. And then I should be able to use hinges and pistons and things to flip it over, and then hopefully shuffle it into a position where it can be merge blocked down, because leaving a large grid free floating is apparently a bad idea. I have now learned. Well, that's going to be some fun. Okay, so the power on the helicopter's dead. Let's clean this up. Helicopter's intact, but its power's dead. I think I might just have to grind a lot of this stuff down. I guess I can tow the helicopter, that's easy enough. And I do have a few small batteries that'd be easy enough to merge block onto it temporarily, so that may actually be easy. But I think this helicopter has been trashed enough that it's done for. I guess temporarily all I really need to do is landing gear lock that warehouse? Workhouse down? I don't really need to actually merge block it down, but I'll see how close I can get it to a position where I'm happy with it. And if I'm happy enough, then I'll just merge block it where it is. Because then I can start doing things like working on the ramp so that I can have a little car kept up in there that's some sort of scout. Because I do kind of want to make a scout vehicle, not to scout for scrap, because that doesn't really work in this environment, but I'm trying to organize some trade deals with a few people, and if I've got a small vehicle that I can drive there and drive quick and risk it, then I can also deliver to those people, because with a limited amount of time for play per week for everybody else, it's probably nicer if I do the deliveries and I take that hit. There is a downside of bringing a wreck back to home, which is I can't just leave most of the wreck behind and not have to grind it down, because over time having all these pieces around here will probably be not so great. Which means I am literally grinding down every single block, every single metal plate, every single piece of this helicopter. And it is a slow process. One helicopter down. Now, battery. Need a battery. Which way am I rotating this? That way? Oh, turn numlock off. Let's not do that. Ah, there we go. Okay, got power. Remote. Let's turn off that rotor, because I think the rotor is actually on all these helicopters. So the blades constantly just slowly drift, which does make them look really cool at a distance. So I left it that way, but yeah. I kind of love that I'm just on that chair, sitting off the side as I move this around. Alright, I'm going to park this over here now. May even hook it up so that the batteries on board don't get drained. But this time, the one battery that is on, I'm going to turn off. So that I can turn it back on and use it for power when I need it. Alright. Now, I can start thinking about... In fact, I'm probably going to need it in a second. Although a small battery, is that going to be enough? Might be. So I think step one is going to be getting this thing righted. And to do that, just trying to think about the angles and what's going on here. What can I do to fix it? 'Cause it's this thing is too heavy for my crane to lift. I'd need a large grid crane at base to do this. Which means if I do plan on bringing buildings home, I probably should plan around having a very large crane here at base to move them around. Or at the very least, to be able to manipulate them into the correct orientation and then slide them into place from there. I put like a rotor up here with a piston on it and then lock that to the ground. I should at least be able to flip this over and then maybe it'll become a bit more clear from there and I can do this as a multi-stage thing. And we attempt to do this and hope that I can always reach the thing that I'm turning on and off. Because that's important. I've made that mistake before. Oh no, bad wrong. Trying to flip things around and you end up... Alright, I need power. About to go in this whole spiel of what I've done and what I haven't done and I've forgotten a critical component. I need to be able to do things. And to do things I need power. Alright. I'm going to try this with the baby battery. Because if a baby battery works for this, that's perfect. Because that makes it so easy to get power source on this quickly. I just got to hope that there isn't much. Do I have another one in here? No, I'm going to have to take the one off the helicopter. Because they're so easy to manipulate. They're just such a perfect thing to use. How long until you're run out, I wonder? 9 hours. Okay, perfect. That's easy. We've got plenty of time. Plenty of time and plenty of power. So I'm actually going to make a little charging rack for those at some point. So I've got a little pack of them saved up, fully charged. So I'll have the ones that I've been putting on the base of the rotor, and then base of the rover. No, rover, same thing. But we'll possibly have a few more that I bring home that I've collected, so I can use them to try and have something ready to go for situations just like this one. I'm gonna need a way to climb up there, and I'm gonna bring my crane over as a way to climb up. Maybe I can just jump up on there? I cannot. Whoa! What the heck just happened there? Why did I get ejected backwards? Interesting. Definitely gonna have to think about this part of the design when I... Nope. Nope. This isn't liking me. Maybe I need to tilt the crane down a bit more. Aha! I can jump from on top of the thing. Yeah, okay, this works. Alright. Time to rotate. Going well. Oh. Am I colliding with something? Shouldn't be. Alright, get back up there and keep trying. Over it comes. That's pretty good. Alright, piston, down you come a bit. That is slightly in not a great spot. Okay, piston. Extend. Until it locks. To allow me to at least move as far forward as this extends currently. See whether I've got to inchworm any further forward, or if that's going to be enough. I think that's going to be enough to make it clear. What I need to do now is figure out where I can attach a rotor to that's going to be able to spin this around. When I eventually build a large crane here, I can always move and reshuffle things if I've decided that I've dislike what I've done with it, I'll do that. But I actually kind of like this. I think this will work. This is going to be using some skills people might recognize from Wrong Way Up, where I go with a rotor and then a piston on the end of it, because you got to be able to lift up the piston to then lock to the ground, to then shuffle along, then lift up the piston to then shuffle along, etc, etc. So you need to have that rotor. You can't just have the piston directly connected to the base, otherwise it gets really awkward to try and figure out how to get the how to get the landing gear to lock down in a sensible way. So I got a way to grab. Now let's reach out. Inertia tensor on that. Bring this down. Should be able to lock to the ground in a reasonable position. Like so. Now I can unlock this. I'm going to leave that one there, just in case I need to do further rotation. But now we retract until it's in a position that I'm happy with. And then I will attempt to lock. How's that looking? Lining up with this place. I probably shouldn't line up perfectly with it. It should either be one block in front or a couple of blocks behind.
Fuel
Maybe one block in
critical.
front is okay, so maybe here is alright. The more I think about this, the more I do want to move it to the side. But I'm worried that's going to put me too high up this slope and I'm not going to be able to merge block it down where I want it. So, I'm just going to do it where it is. I'm happy enough. Let's make this work. If I place a bunch of blocks here, when I release this, hopefully it will settle itself at the correct orientation for that merge block to merge. If I don't put any sort of platform under here, when it falls down, if it's wrong, it's going to make it even. It's going to make itself even more wrong. Oh boy. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, done. Whoa! Why the spin? Oh, the merge block magnets just did something wicked to that. Oh, it's merged. I didn't hear any explosions. The cargo containers are intact. How's the little rover thing inside? It's still in here. Okay. I am counting that as a win. And a fairly significant one. Yeah. Yeah. Haha. In order to get a ramp that goes up here that isn't on our standard slopes that we have for space engineers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to free place this in the ground and attempt to get the angle correct. Build a line of blocks out this way. I'm going to use them as a guide to make sure that the ramp starts and stops in roughly the right spot. So I'm going to rotate it so that it's about that sort of angle. Could possibly go a little bit steeper than that. Maybe that'll be alright. Yeah. And now I want to line that up roughly with this block, getting it as close to, as possible to touching. And then I place these out. It's going to be way too far out, and I don't think it's all that much better than the 2-to-1 angle. Now that I look at it, so we'll try again. Line up right on it. Make it a bit flatter. Okay, so let's have a look at this. If I walk up this, we can see that this lip over here is actually pretty good. I think I got very lucky there. I do want this just a touch lower though, because you can see this is actually higher than the flooring here. So what I'm going to do is line up to it, and instead of building this snapped to it, I'm just going to drop it by about the amount that I need and try and line it up as well as possible. You can probably do some of this with a hinge and lining things up that way, and then convert to a static grid, but that can be quite tricky to get something on a hinge stable enough that it's happy to convert to a static grid. Oh yeah, I think that's better. That's pretty good. Let's see what this looks like in front. Oh, I think I just snapped this bit that I'd already built down to the other side. Cool. So the idea was, if I put these here, I've created a ramp out of metal, which means hovering over it and it being this long kind of makes a degree of sense. And then I can do the concrete underneath. If you're wondering why you're not able to place blocks quite as close to other objects as I'm being able to in this,
critical.
we are using Consti's mod that allows placement of blocks based on their collision, not based on their bounding box. So the bounding box is that green highlighted box around it, or the red one when it's intersecting with something. The collision is what we can walk on and drive on and things like that. So particularly with these panels, calculations by collision are really valuable in getting them into some otherwise, positions where they would otherwise be refused. I'm quite happy with how this looks with the ramp welded up. That should be drivable without causing too much grief for at least a 3x3 wheeled rover, which is what I'm likely to turn something around here into. Perhaps this little personnel carrier on the far side of the helicopter, or something like that, because next time I'm going to be organizing a few people to attempt a scouting mission to one of the poles. And we're going to bring a whole bunch of vehicles along and see what we can discover up there and whether we feel like we might be able to establish some sort of beachhead there in the future. This is just a scouting mission though. We're not planning on holding it for very long. I expect it to go very, very poorly. So there's all that and plenty more to come. And I will see you then.